So I got two screens right here. This one is the original and this one is the aftermarket. The only difference is when they're off. You can see this one looks a little bit wider on the actual display part. The edges are more noticeable than the original. The original is more like fluid. You can barely tell if I put at an angle the difference between the glass and the black of the LCD. Now let's turn them on. Now these are both at full brightness. All right. And in real life, you can see the difference from this blue to this blue. This one looks a lot brighter. This one looks a lot duller. But honestly, the difference is not 100% noticeable. I mean, if I didn't have them side by side, it would be hard for me to really tell the difference in color. See this blue, you can see here, this blue looks a little bit different. So let's cancel that. Let's see some more. This gray. See this gray on this side. It looks a less bright, like a darker gray. Same on this side. This gray seems a lot less vibrant. And let's pick them up a little bit and show them at an angle to see which one has a better viewing angle. See, right now you can see the white on OEM is a lot better. Alright, here you can see the difference a little bit. I mean, to point it out, you can see the whiter here and the bluer here. See, this is definitely whiter. This is definitely a lot brighter, whiter. This is a lot bluer. So now that we check this out, let's get down to the hardware. So I fully disassembled both the original and the aftermarket screens. Let's go over the components. Here on the top we have the original Apple screen and on the bottom we have the aftermarket. This would be the backlight, the LCD panel, the polarizer, the digitizer, and the glass. Now as you can see, the screen on the bottom has an extra component, which would be this one, but not really. On the original iPhone screen, the LCD and digitizer panels are one. They cannot be separated, and they're pretty much manufactured as one piece. On the aftermarket, the LCD and digitizer are actually separate, and this is found on most aftermarkets today. The digitizer will be made of glass or plastic, and it will actually go on top of the polarizer, and the polarizer will go on top of the LCD. So this adds an extra layer to the aftermarket screen. Now that makes it a little bit thicker. Now let's note the positioning of the polarizer too. On the OEM, the polarizer goes right on top of the LCD digitizer, and then the glass goes right on top of that. So the light gets polarized right away. On the aftermarket, the digitizer actually goes on top of the polarizer, and then the glass goes on top of the digitizer. So the OCA and the digitizer for this front aren't polarized, and since they're not polarized, they look a lot more washed out. They don't look as solid. This is the LCD digitizer panel without a backlight. As you can tell, it's really thin. It's actually as thin as the digitizer on this aftermarket, pretty much just as thin. Actually, probably a little bit thinner.